And one man who is a massive driver of the NFL growing is joining us yet again for another week.
Hell yeah.
This has become a surprise of the season.
Yeah.
A great surprise, a positive surprise, a holy shit, what the hell is going on type of surprise. A man who will chit-chat with us, I believe, for the foreseeable future. A man who's a guaranteed future Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, looking to win a third Super Bowl with a third organization that has never been done in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, superstar Von Miller.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Howdy, guys. Thank y'all for having me again.
Hey, sorry I didn't get your chicken farm in the beginning there in the plug. Also, the Vaughn cast alongside with Bleacher Report. You're a fucking hey, you're a dude.
Hell yeah.
Hey man, I'm just following your lead. You know, I'm just trying to get it like you and AJ, man. I'm just trying to, figure it out.
No, well, it seems like you have that happen. Now, let's talk about the season. This is the first time getting a chance to chat with you after a little bit of adversity for a brand new team that everybody has talked about, the locker room culture being fantastic, the team being great, obviously built to go on a run. After the game in Miami, 90 plays for that defensive side. They have a blocked punt with an ass of a personal protector going for a safety. Had a chance to win it at the end, but you don't. That's one of those games that could be very fucking devastating because of how tiring it could be. You should have won it. All the stats say you should have won it. You guys don't. How is the team responding? This is your first time in Buffalo with this type of situation. What is the vibe? What is the message? What is the atmosphere, Vaughn?
I start with me. With this being my 12th year in the league, like, you just learn to appreciate moments like that, and for me, it was fun. Of course, losing is not fun, but, to play in that atmosphere and the heat in front of, they had great fans there. We had great fans there. It was a great environment for football. And, I had fun. It was going back and forth. They were making plays. We were making plays. And we just, came up short at the end. Their defense played phenomenal. And they made, they had one more turnover than what we had. I feel like, a defensive guy, I feel like that was, the difference maker. If we could get a turnover, maybe the game would be different. But, to sit on this side, and I'm still getting to know these guys. I've been here for a couple of months and still getting to know these guys. But to see these guys battle the way that they did, all the way down to, the very, very last second of the clock, like, of course you don't want to lose. But it's like watching your son, like, lose a fight to, a bigger, like, kid. Like, of course he lost the fight, but you just feel so proud of him that, he gave it his all, and what type of future that, he's going to have. And that's what I feel about, this team, man. Like, we fought to the very, very end. I'm not going to give any excuses about, injuries and anything like that. I feel like whatever team that we field out there, we can win, especially, when I'm out there. I feel like, if anything, I should be able to make a play to win this game by myself. That's just the mindset that I have. And, of course, I wasn't able to do that game, but I had fun, man. I enjoyed battling with my guys, man. And we just came up short. And, it's not the first time that I lost, a game. Like, of course, it's defeating, and, you don't want to lose. But at the end of the day, it's good medicine. It's good to have a reality check. We blew the first two teams out. And it's good to have a reality check like, hey, man, if we don't come out here and do everything that we possibly can to win, if we don't cross all the T's and dot all the I's, like, it can happen to us. And I think a loss here and there is always good for good teams.
Vaughn, did you guys know, like, did you realize in the moment, any point in the game, like, man, our offense has sure been out there a hell of a long time. They've taken a lot of plays. And, like, how have they recovered? I would imagine if you're going to play 90 plays or something, Miami's not the ideal place to do it right now in September. So, like, how are they recovering?
Us defensive guys, you don't really realize it. Like, you're on the sideline, you're going over plays. You look up, it's third down again. Okay, we converted. Okay, we made a play right here. And it's third down again, we converted. You don't really realize. I think I realized that I was like, hey, man, I'm starting to get, like, a little stiff. I'm like, man, I need to warm up. And you still don't really realize it until after the game, and they give you all the stats. And, I think we played 44 snaps total on defense, and our offense played 90-something snaps. And then you see how everybody dropping and everybody getting the heat exhaustion. And, it kind of made sense after the game. But during the game, you don't really realize it. Like, you're steady trying to, look for that play to make. Or I'm thinking about, okay, when we go back in the series, I want to make this adjustment. I want to rush like this. I want to make this play. You're not really thinking about, like, dang, they're out there for a long time. I think that whole third quarter, probably 70% of that third quarter, we sat on the bench and just watched the offense go. And I think it was the same thing in the fourth quarter, but you don't really realize it. During the game, my body, I was like, dang, I need to run around, and I started warming up on the sideline. I'm like, bro, it's going crazy. But after the game, it kind of made sense. Like, hey, our offense was out there for a very, very long time.
They're getting heat exhaustion. I'm like, fucking
Cramps.
send some this way, dude.
They was passing us water and stuff, saying hydrate. I'm like, man, I'm full. I've been drinking water this whole quarter. I'm good.
Obviously, the only thing that was lost in the grand scheme of this NFL season is that you guys won't be able to go undefeated like the 72 Dolphins were able to do it. So I appreciate hearing your perspective on it all. AJ just asked about how the offense feels. I'd like to ask about how you feel about the offensive coordinator, okay? You've seen the video. Did you know this guy, Ken Dorsey, is one of the greatest, most pissed off competitors of all time? I have great respect for him after his freakout. Means he cares, means he's very invested, means he wants them to win. Did you know he had that in him? Because I think us all looking at him like, oh, look at this khakis guy. Like, this is going to happen. Him losing his shit was awesome to see, I think. Is that how the locker room felt?
We haven't really talked about it in the locker room, but when I saw the clip, it made me feel good that everybody's into it the same way that I'm into it.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to win. It's like he cares about it. And, sometimes coaches, they don't really get up for games. They don't really get down for games. It's just, they just methodically move through the season. And to see him, react the way that he did, it shows he's in it the same way that we're in it. Like, he wants to win games just like we want to win games. He's trying to score touchdowns. He wants a Buffalo win. And it was refreshing, especially for a defensive guy, to see him show some emotion. Like, and he walk around the facility and, he really don't say anything. I'm on defense, so he really don't say anything, to the defensive guys. And then you see him react the way that he did, man. It made me feel like, okay, he cares the same way I care, man. And, you get a little notch of respect from me.
Yeah, I think all of us really said, Ken Dorsey, all right, fucking dog, baby.
Good guy.
Kind of got a little Dahmer to him where he walks around quietly and doesn't say anything, but then will lose his mind. You watching that right now? You watching this?
Yeah, I saw it. It was crazy, man. Just to go back and see some of the details on that Netflix miniseries, it's interesting. It's interesting, to see that it's people like that in the world. Like, it's a crazy documentary. It's very, very interesting for sure.
Yes, it is bananas. And I think while you're watching it, we've all heard about Dahmer. While you're watching it, you're like, this motherfucker was they should have met class and hanging out with people. It's those people that were in class with him had no clue. Like, this is going to be maybe the most disgusting and vile human of all time. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many different things. It's so many different things throughout that whole documentary that stand out for me. But I can only imagine how the other tenants in the apartment felt smelling that.
Yeah.
I think it was 10 months. He stayed there. I can only imagine the smell. I hunt and I fish. Whenever we get time, and some of these deer carcasses and fish, they just if they stay here for a couple of hours, it's unbearable. To be in that room for days and weeks and months, I can only imagine no wonder they had to tear the whole thing down. The whole apartment was probably smelled terrible. Just
behind the walls, got human bodies in there, just sitting there. What a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the football. Darius, good question for Von Miller.
Hey, Vaughn, obviously they brought you there not only for what you do on the field, but your leadership and two other great leaders on that defense and on that team, Poyer and Hyatt. Obviously you guys are missing them for some time. How confident are you with the other young guys that are back there in that secondary?
This being my 12th year in the league, that's just part of it. That's just one of the ugly heads of football. Somebody's gonna get injured, and of course you don't want it to be any of your guys, but it's just the fact that every single player that plays is gonna have some type of injury, and it's gonna be some type of major injury on every single team, and I think that's why depth is so important. That's why you need a great GM that can build up teams from the core up. Every team has star players, and every quarterback can throw the ball and have receivers. And of course,
not
some
everyone,
receivers, some receivers are better than others, but every team has star players. Right. But it's the core players that really set that team apart. And Brandon Beane and this front office, they've done a great job of building this team up from the core up. And whatever guys that we field out there, you know, they're pros. Everybody that steps out there has been the man at some point in time. They were the man in high school, college. Like every single person on this football team is prepared and able to go out there and be on the football field at some point in time. And I think what really separates, you know, guys from, you know, like the core players from the star players is really just the mindset thing. And I think the core players have to have in their mind that I am a starter. I'm just waiting for my play. And we got a lot of guys in this locker room that have a great mindset. You know, of course they say next man up mentality, but you truly have to have that on pro football teams. And I'll tell you a story about our 2005 season with Peyton Manning. Like last 5 or 6 games of the season, Peyton Manning gets hurt, and we had to go with Brock Osweiler. And everybody's like, okay, there's no way we're going to be able to be successful. Brock Osweiler comes in, and he goes absolutely insane. You go all the way to the last game of the season. You know, he struggled in that game, and we really needed to win. Put Peyton Manning back in. Peyton Manning leads us all the way throughout the playoffs. After the season, Brock Osweiler gets paid, signs a huge deal with the Texans. And each and every year, you see a guy take advantage of, you know, a spot of a starter getting hurt. You see guys take advantage of the opportunity and they make it their own, and they become superstars in this league. And I think if you have that mindset, we got guys in our locker room that have that mindset. That's what takes you over the hump for sure.
Cooper Kush now.
Yeah.
Cooper Kush is doing that with the Cowboys right now. I mean, he is balling out, but at every position it happens, I think is what Vaughn's saying. I love that mentality in that speech you just gave. Ready to run through a goddamn wall.
Oh, yeah.
AJ, go ahead, pal.
Vaughn, what do you think separates like pass rushers from elite pass rushers? Obviously, you're a future Hall of Famer, elite pass rusher, but everybody that comes in the league is big, strong, fast, might have a move or two. Like, what do you think separates people like you to put you to the next level?
I think one is being able to know situational football, really being aware of the position of where I am in this football game, whether it's first quarter, second quarter, you know, third and long, being aware of the play clock, being aware of, am I up by, you know, 3 points, 10 points? What is this offense trying to do? Are they pushing down the field? Are they just, you know, trying to keep the score close at the end of the game? And really just being able to predict and being aware of, you know, football games. And I played, you know, a lot of football games. You know, I try to get in the mind of like, not the quarterback, but this offensive coordinator. What are they trying to do to our team? How are they trying to attack us? Is this big play? Is this big play time? Is this, you know, move the ball down the field? You know, I'm not always right. That's what makes this sport great. But I feel like being able to be aware of situational football is a big one. And honestly, it's really just the mindset. My mindset every time I go out there, and we talk about this each and every year at the Pass Rush Summit, you got all type of guys. You got big guys. You got small guys. You got fast guys. You got power guys. In my mind, I'm going to attack each and every play. You know, I'm thinking like, it feels like I'm on offense. It feels like, you know, I'm the running back, and I'm going to attack each and every play. I'm not sitting back waiting on the offense to react to me. I'm going to attack each and every play. I'm looking at the play clock. I'm trying to get the best jump that I could possibly get. I'm looking at formations. I played outside linebacker for a long time, and now I'm playing defensive end. So I'm looking at formations. Is this tight end coming back? You know, will they try to block me with this tight end, this fullback coming right here, wide receiver coming in? And I feel like to be an elite pass rusher, you just have to be aware of what the offense is trying to do and taking advantage of those small spaces that they give you.
How long you been the guy that's just getting chipped all the time? Felt like that's what took place last week in Miami, huh?
And I've been getting chipped for a long time, and that's part of it. It was another big chip this last weekend with Sko from the Rams and J.J. Watt. You know, that's totally different. That play is totally different from the play with Leonard Fournette and Micah Hyde. Leonard Fournette was coming from the backfield up to the line of scrimmage.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Parsons was he was rushing, and Leonard Fournette, he came from the backfield and he chipped him. J.J. Watt was lined up on the line of scrimmage, and Sko was on the line of scrimmage. So if y'all both on the line of scrimmage, I feel like that should be, you know, a legal play. You just got to be aware of the guy being there. When a guy's coming from the backfield up, you can't really notice that guy. You know, that's the difference between, you know, these plays. A guy motioning in from outside the numbers, coming in and cracking me from the outside, that should be illegal too. But lining up on the line of scrimmage and just chipping in, like, that's illegal play. And it was a great play by Scope. He chipped JJ. He was able to get up. They threw him a little dump pass, and he went for 20 yards. So that play in my eyes is a safe play. I feel like if I'm a defensive man, I just got to be aware of that and, you know, try to get outside of that or just be conscious of the guy. You know, it's JJ Watt. You know they're going to try to chip you right there.
Yeah, JJ knows too, I would assume. You know, as soon as you said what you said on the show, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? Every offensive lineman on the internet. Did you hear? Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
Of course.
You guys trying to earhole us on a little stunt, and we can't get one shot to the ribs? Oh, okay.
That's all on the line of scrimmage, though. When I run an exit game, when I run a text game, we are all on the line of scrimmage. Like, that's totally legal. Just like a guy lining up outside of me on the line of scrimmage and chipping in, or a running back lining up on the line of scrimmage and chipping in. Like, that's all legal. But once the guy's coming from the backfield or motioning in from out the end, like, come on. I heard y'all talk about before I got on. You want these guys to be able to play as long as possible.
Yeah, right.
You want to make the game safer for these guys, especially your premier pass rushers and your premier quarterbacks, because this league is driven by quarterbacks. The next guys up are the pass rushers because they affect the quarterbacks, and then the guys after that are the cornerbacks because they affect the wide receivers. And you know, that's how it's played. You got to be able to protect all of those guys. Honestly, you should be able to protect everybody that's out there. This game is already, you know, a tough, brutal sport. And if we can make the game safer in any way, I'm all for it. You know, you want kids to play this game.
Hell yeah.
I want my son to grow up in a safe environment where he'll want to play this game, and generations after that and after that. So if we can make this game safer and make guys, you know, continue to have people interested in football, like, we gotta have a safe sport.
Hell yeah, AJ. Maybe you shouldn't attack with everybody with your forehead.
Yeah.
Try to put people in a hospital, okay? Maybe the
Guardian
game wouldn't be
caps
where
all
it
year.
is. Yeah, okay, a guardian cap, exactly. You need one, maybe. Jeez, Louise. Connor has a question for you, Vaughn, then we'll let you go. I know you're very busy on this beautiful Wednesday or Thursday. Sorry about it.
Yeah, Vaughn, looking ahead to some preparation for the Ravens. Is Isaiah McKenzie playing scout team quarterback, or are you guys just running sideline to sideline to prepare for Lamar?
No, we got Tavon Austin, you know, trying to do his best, you know, impression of Lamar Jackson. But honestly, like, you know, it's nobody like Lamar. It's nobody that we could put back there. It's only one Lamar Jackson, just like it's only one Josh Allen. Like, that's just how it is. And, you know, all the things that he's going through, like, from his contract and being able to put that out the way, like, you know, hats off to Lamar Jackson, where he definitely has to be the highest paid. Like, it's his turn. That's just how the league goes. When it was Patrick Mahomes' turn, he got paid. When it's Josh Allen's turn, he got paid. Russell Wilson is up there now. Like, you got Aaron Rodgers at the very top.
Right.
Come on, like, that's just Lamar Jackson. And honestly, whenever you do that for the next quarterbacks up after Lamar Jackson, for the Justin Herberts and the Joe Burrow, you want to continue to have the jump of the highest paid guy. You want to continue to have the jump because that just brings up the whole entire league. And it's not like we're just giving money away to Lamar Jackson. Like, he's earned it. He's playing now. He's betting on himself. And he's going out there. He's not causing a scene with his team. He's not holding out. He's not talking about it in the media. I can talk about it. You know, we're playing those guys. You know, I can talk about it. But when nobody's, you know, he's not creating a distraction or doing anything. He's doing everything. He's doing everything the right way. And, you know, I've always been for the league. I've always been trying to, you know, better the league. And it's just his turn for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the two quarterbacks that you said that are next, I do believe their teams are potentially the loudest to the Ravens, saying, "Hey, we're not doing."
Don't do it.
Don't do it. But
if you give him 55, then Justin Herbert he needs 60, and then Joe Burrow needs 65, and that's just how it goes.
And then when you get there, Josh Allen's probably up again.
That's right.
And
then go again.
It just keeps on going. I mean,
that's how it is. Come on, that's how it is, man.
Hey, 17.5 million viewers is what the NFL is averaging this season for every single game. They just signed a $110 billion deal. That's only going to go up even more. They're going over to England. They got games in Germany. The money is just yodeling. It's been a topic of conversation on this show for the last few days, and I think it's hit the internet a little bit with a lot of ex-players. Is it time for the NFL to have all grass fields, do you think? And why do you think it hasn't happened just strictly from a guy who's been in the NFL for 12 years already?
You know, this is a crazy topic because I was in the locker room probably, you know, 2 weeks ago talking about it. If you look at the English Premier League, you know, every field is grass.
Everyone.
And if you look at La Liga, Barcelona, FC Madrid, Real Madrid, like all of those guys, they play on grass. And the crazy thing about it, when they come over here, they put grass on the turf fields for these guys to play on. And of course, owners can come up with all type of research saying that grass is just, as supportive as, as field turf is just the same as grass. But we can obviously come up with our studies too that say grass is safer for guys to play on. And honestly, we are the ones that's playing on it. And our feedback is this is a better surface. It feels better, especially after games. Like your body's not aching, ankles are not aching. I think it's time for every field to be grass. And it was surprising to me that SoFi Stadium, which is the best stadium, and honestly might be the best stadium in all of sports, wasn't a grass field. Like that's shocking to me. Like this stadium is, I think it's $6 billion. Like something outrageous. Like it's time for every single field to be grass. And we can come up with ways. I know owners, they want to have concerts and they want to have events. We can just put a platform over the grass field and have the concert on top of that. Like it's an easy fix. But I think it's time. It's 2020. And I think football, we're the only ones. I think MLS plays on
grass
on turf. I mean, they play on not AstroTurf, but field turf as well. I think MLS does, and the NFL. Like, I think it's time. And I think some of these fields, like we share fields with some of these MLS clubs as well. So once the NFL goes all grass, and everybody will be all grass. I think it's time. I'm up in age. I'm 12 years in, and every time I play on turf, you could just little aches here, and they last too. It's not like you get over it like in 2 or 3 days. Like it takes about 3 or 4 days to wear out some of that soreness. I know, AJ, you did you feel the same way whenever you played on turf?
Yeah. Ankles, feet, all of that stuff, knees, obviously, like just practicing on it. Just when your cleats stick in the ground, you cut so hard and it doesn't chunk up. Like that's why I think people get injured on field turf when your cleats stick in that turf and they don't. Normally, if you get hit on that leg, the grass is going to give and you're going to fall out. Now your cleats are stuck. It's just kind of twisting. Boom. Yeah, like I think my ankles, especially and knees, it's brutal. And all the big guys all wanted to practice on grass every day.
And I know I'm probably giving away money right here, but it's 2022. It's got to be some type of super turf that you put water on it and it reacts the exact same way as grass. You water the AstroTurf, it feels the exact same way, it moves the exact same way as grass. Now, if we can come up with a product like that, that'd be something to talk about. But that's gonna cost a little bit more. That's gonna cost way more money than just putting grass down.
Yeah, but it might save a lot of money in the future. That's right. You got to zoom out of the photo a little bit to see what really matters, what's really bringing you profit. Is it this, couple $100 million infrastructure you're going to have to put in the field turf and the grass so it's maintained and regulated and you can slide that underneath other surfaces like you have at Tottenham? Did you see that? You're talking about how when the soccer guys come over here, they put grass on top of it. Tottenham, They actually had a grass field and they said, get that fucking thing off of there. And they flipped up the turf fields for the NFL game. So they took the grass out of there and put an AstroTurf field in there for the game or whatever. It's just like completely opposite. And it seems like it's unanimous. Every single player that has ever played in the NFL says, give us grass, it's a lot better. I will say a guy named Bryce, who was in his high school marching band, tweeted me yesterday and said that, honestly, with the right conditioning, you can't tell the difference. When I marched on turf and on grass, couldn't tell the difference.
So there you go.
And I love that guy.
Best.
I love that guy hopping into the conversation as a high school band person, and we appreciate all opinions. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like there's only been one opinion, though, from players, and that's we need grass. Maybe the show will do the difference. Maybe Von Miller will. Certain future Hall of Famer. Good luck this weekend against the Ravens. We appreciate the hell out of you, dude.
Appreciate you guys for having me, man. This is enjoyable, man. It's the highlight of my week. Besides, playing on games on Sunday, man, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hell yeah. Von Miller.